Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I would like to share a story time that happened to me last week, and it was very eye-opening. So this is National Recovery Month, and R is for recovery. We're trying to share the stories of recovery, but part of recovery is relapse, and a relapse has a 60% chance of ending in an overdose these days. Well, I'm terrified of that, but I'm proactive. I try to prepare myself to not put myself in a situation like that, but others might. And I came across a situation last week where I saw a woman who was essentially overdosing. I'll get more details in a minute, but I carry Narcan. I've carried it for a year. My flight or fight kicked in, and I was just like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And like, I just acted. I acted almost instinctually, and then afterwards I was like, dang, did I do that right? Like, should I have done that? Is that what I don't know. So I learned a lot from this. This has been very eye-opening. So I want to share the story of what happened last week. I might include some clips from when it happened because, well, not when it happened. I'm not that rude. But afterwards, I recorded myself talking about it because I was just shook. I was shooketh. And you know, I was actually really shaken, and it was hard. Overdose is not funny, so I'm not making light of this. I might laugh, but that's just me being uncomfortable talking about an uncomfortable topic. So before I get into this, can you please like this video and subscribe to my channel? I am putting out lots of recovery videos, or, you know, maybe just these two, who knows, but for Recovery Month, I want to share a bunch of stories. I did get some emails from people who would like to share their stories, so I am excited to possibly have that happening, and yeah, let's get into this story time. I was walking home from work, like I always do, and I decided I wanted to stop for some coffee. And I went like a different way, like a way I never go. I never go this way. And I was walking down the alley, and I made a turn, and I saw this car sitting there running. And I saw it running with the brake lights on, and the car door was open, and it looked like someone might be like rooting around on the other side of their car. And I walked by, and like the one leg was out the door. Like, I'm lifting my legs like you guys can see. The one leg was out the door a little, but then the brake lights were on, so like the one foot had to be on the brakes, you know, the car was running, and the head was down. So I was like, it didn't sit right. So I walked really slowly, and I was just like looking for any movement at all, because if she moved, she's looking for something, you know, she's okay. She didn't move. She did not move at all. So I'm thinking, okay, call 911, call Greg. I have Narcan, call 911. What if she's not unconscious? I call 911, and then she gets hit with like a possession charge. I don't know if I'm okay with that. Like, I only care about her being alive. I'm not trying to get her punished, or, you know, I don't think that we can arrest our way out of this situation. So really, arresting her is only going to set her up for failure, because she's going to get out of jail and have detox, probably relapse, and die. That's where my brain's going. So all of this is happening in the span of like 3 seconds, because I've just walked past. I've been standing there looking at her, realizing that she's not moving. So I call Greg. My thought process was that I had him, you know, I always wear like this Bluetooth headphone thing, like this, you know, so he can hear everything that I'm saying, and I can have this in my ear and be talking to him and not have to actually like hold my phone and all this stuff. So I was like, okay, I was like, honey, I think that this woman is overdosing. And he's like, what, where are you? Where are you? And I told him where I was. Now he's at home with Emerson, so he could have come to me on his bike, like in a minute flat, but he had Emerson. So I was like, okay, I got this. Like, I'm gonna do this. I am gonna approach her. I just need you on the phone to make sure that nothing happens. Like, what could happen? I thought that she was going to be like, bitch, what the fuck are you doing? Get out of my face. Because she doesn't know if she's genuinely nodded out. She does not know that she's nodded out. So when she wakes up, she's only going to remember whatever moment was before that. So as I approach her, I'm like looking in this vehicle, right? So she's got one leg kind of out the door, one on the brakes, and the car is running. So then I'm also thinking, like, what if she takes her foot off that brake? Like, I didn't look hard enough to see if like her parking lights were on too. I just remembered like quickly looking, and brake lights, car running, door open. Like, what if her foot slips and the car backs out? Like, I don't know. It was a lot really fast. So I decided to approach her. So I turned around. I hadn't gone more than like 15 feet away, but just to watch to see if she had moved, which she did not. So at this point, I'm like, fuck, like, okay, this is real. So I go back and I approach her. It's like up this small driveway. So now I'm technically on their personal property, private property. Like, it's getting gray, all these things. I'm like, oh, I don't know about this. I don't know about the legalities. Am I liable for anything? Like, what happens if I do this? I didn't think about all that until afterwards, but I should have been, I guess I kind of worried about it, but at that moment I was just like, I have to act. So I went up to her and I was like, excuse me, nothing. Excuse me, nothing. Excuse me, nothing. Excuse me, ma'am. And I had reached out and like gently touched her. I honestly don't remember if I did touch her, but I was reaching for her when she sat up quickly. And she had her phone in her lap and I could see the screen. She had text messages open. And when she opened her, when she came awake, I guess, came back to life, she started texting again. It was the craziest thing. And she's just very disoriented, not knowing what's going on. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I just wanted to make sure that you're okay. And she said, oh, I'm okay. And I said, okay, well, I just saw you and you were out. And she's like, I have knee problems and I had surgery. And I said, okay, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure you didn't overdose. And I guess my bluntness kind of took her by surprise. And she's like, no, I'm okay. I have knee things. I'm on Medicare. Bitch, I don't care that you're on Medicare. I don't care why you're using. You don't have to justify anything to me. I genuinely just care that you're alive. And you're alive. So cool. So I said, okay, just be safe. Have a good day. And I left. And I went to the coffee shop, and my heart is pounding, and I get more caffeine because that's the good thing to do when your heart's pounding. But I left the coffee shop, and I started to head back to my house, and I said, no, I should go back. So I decided to go back. And at this point, the car's still there. She's still in the seat, nodding out again, out. And there's a little boy on a scooter going on their driveway and out in the street, and on their driveway and out in the street. And I was like, what do I do? So, I could call 911 because she can still overdose. It's still possible. But then again, I get the police involved and I don't really know if I want the police involved. And I decided to approach the little boy. I know, real smart. And I just was like, hey, I'm sorry. I don't mean to bother you, but do you live here? And he said, yeah, I'm staying here with my mom, at a friend's house. And I said, okay. I was like, are you with her? And he said, no, she's the neighbor, but she's always sitting there like that. What? In front of a child? I know addiction doesn't give you the luxury to care. I know, but still. She was right out front of her house. So I was talking to him, and at the point that I had mentioned her again, she kind of came back too. And I was like, so I started to walk away, and then I walked back and I'm like, listen, I don't mean to be weird or creepy or offensive or mean or anything. I'm not trying to judge you. I was like, I'm in recovery. I have a YouTube channel about recovery. I just took this job at Open Arms and I'm going to be a drug and alcohol counselor. And if you ever need anything, here's how you can reach me. And I handed her one of my cards and I left it at that. At that point she was getting up and going into her house. So I felt better knowing that the car was off. She wasn't in the driver's seat. The kid was going to be left alone and she was going home. It's like a bug flying in my face. But yeah, I don't know. So then I walked home and I was talking about it and I was thinking about how I almost had to use my Narcan and and this woman was overdosing and hindsight, a lot of things kind of came into focus. So I decided to reach out to a couple doctors that I know, a couple police officers that I know, and get some advice. What should you do if you see a stranger overdosing? This is the key part here. This woman is a total stranger. I have never seen her before. I haven't seen her since, and I am approaching her on the street. So I guess I'm trying to determine what the best plan of action is. Ew, there's a bug in here on my light. Greg! There's a bug! On my light! I don't know, I can't see it. I just see little antennas. Get it! I'm trapped to the mic.
Where'd it go?
He's on the top. There he is.
Oh, he's just a little tiny guy.
Oh, I couldn't see him. I could just see his antenna.
He's okay. He's just a little guy.
Don't knock my light over.
I don't want to
Nope.
Where'd he go?
He flew back at the light.
Oh, damn. I'm gonna have to kill him, aren't I?
No, turn the light off. Turn the overhead light off. Ah, he's on my phone. He scared me.
Come here, bud. Oh, he fell.
Just turn the light on.
Where'd he go? He's just like an 8. He's like a
He
big ant.
scared me.
I understand that. But he is not that scary anymore. He's just a big ant. I lost him.
Oh, great. Okay. He's probably dead, right? Oh, there he is.
Alright, I'm gonna...
No! Oh!
I didn't do it.
Why you do that to me? He's right there.
Where?
On my head. He went up there. He's up there.
Where?
I heard him go up there. I saw him fly up there. Okay, we're done. We're good. Turn the overhead light off. Just stay here.
I'm right here. I'm right here, honey. I got you. You called me. That was your plan. That was your action plan. That's what you did. Just like you did just now.
Okay. I'll probably keep that in there because that was pretty comical.
That was funny.
Okay, so what is the best plan of action if you see a stranger on the street overdosing? My camera's all moved and everything now. I'm sweating from that bug. Ugh. Okay, so what you should do is evaluate the situation. You should approach the person and see if they are unconscious. That is the determining factor if you should call 911 or not. Honestly, if you want to call 911 just because you see them nodding out in a driver's seat of a car that is running, go for it. That is totally fine. Just know that if you call 911, there are most likely going to be legal. If you call 911, there is most likely going to be legal repercussions
For that person.
for that person.
Sorry. I'm just watching this bug, man.
Oh, fuck me. Okay.
I'll make sure it won't come down on you.
Okay, so yeah, if you call 911, there will be legal repercussions, and not for you, for them. You know, you actually have the Samaritan laws, the Good Samaritan laws, that you are safe to call them. You are even safe to dose them with Narcan. Check your state's laws. I'm obviously not a legal professional here, but most states allow you to dose because, especially if you've called 911 and started CPR and all that stuff, that stuff has to happen first. You can't just randomly go up to someone passed out on the street and give them Narcan, which leads me to my next point. I didn't look in the car to see if she had any drugs or drug paraphernalia out. She might not have been overdosing. She could have been having a stroke or just had a seizure. I don't know what was happening. And I did once she woke up and I heard her talking in the way that she was not making sense. But then again, I still don't know. And that's the key part. So one of the police officers said that you have to keep in mind that they have the legal protection to do way more than we do. So we should let them do that. We should call 911. And we should let the police officers handle the situation. First responders in most areas are going to be there within minutes. And you should technically have minutes to spare. Something's oh, Mona, my dog. And you should have minutes to spare, but you don't always know. So that also leads me to my next point. Who's around? What's going on? You know, if someone is there and confirms that they've been out for minutes, out for 5-10 minutes, the situation changes a little. You need to reassess. But again, call 911 and let them tell you what to do. The most important things to do is going to be to probably make sure that their airway's not obstructed and get them into a safe position. There is this thing called the recovery position, which I'll include pictures.
It's flying around. The bear.
This fucking...
I hit my face.
Ah!
I should have just killed it. Where is it?
I'm on the light!
I'm killing it.
He's there. He's on that light. He's over there on the big thing.
I see him.
He's not a cute little bug.
My eye.
He's not a cute little bug. You lied. You lied. Die!
I hit him.
My poor dog is hiding. Let's regroup. Okay. This video has been a shit show because of this damn bug, but I'm not refilming. This is what you get. High quality YouTuber here. So essentially, assess the situation. Defer to the police and to the paramedics. That is their job. Talk to 911. Learn CPR. If you don't know it, that would be very helpful. Try to get them in a recovery position if at all possible. If you do that though, please keep in mind that they could have needles, they could have bodily fluids, they could bite you, they could do a lot of things, you know? You don't want to be pricked by their needles because of the spread of diseases. You don't want them to bite you. And that might sound crazy, but if I would have done the Narcan, that causes a lot of people to fight. One of the police officers that I asked said that the number one reaction is fighting. People are angry. They're hurting. You know what I mean? Like, I just caused them to go into withdrawal. They don't give a shit about their life right now. Like, they are hurting. So, I don't know. I don't think I responded well, but I think I did the right thing because I approached her. I'm grateful that, well, I mean, it's not that I didn't respond well. I wouldn't have responded well had she actually needed me to revive her. I don't know what I would have done. I guess I would have called 911, but I'm just very glad that she wasn't unconscious. You know, I'm very grateful. And it shook me. It shook me to my core and made me realize that if I don't know what to do in these situations, does anybody else? I mean, first responders, obviously, medical professionals, not me, but yeah. So that's what I got for today. I hope this video is not a hot mess because of the bug and me freaking out. I hope you enjoyed that, but I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys. Okay, so I don't know how well this video is going to turn out or how well I look or how loud the ice is in my iced coffee, but shit, man, I just saw something I wish I didn't see. So I was walking home from work and I obviously, you know, I still walk in on the car. I'm gonna put my sunglasses on so I'm not squinting the whole time. I was walking home from work and there was a car that had its brake lights on. Brake lights. And the driver's side door was open and there was like a woman in the driver's seat, like just sitting there, like leaning over, and as I walked by the first time, I couldn't tell if she was like leaning over and looking for something or just like nodding out or overdosed. And I walked by slowly and I just kind of took notice of where the position of her head was, and she didn't move. She did not move like an inch. She didn't go down further, she didn't come up, she didn't do anything. Yeah, sorry. And so I walked by slowly and I dropped my book bag to make a loud noise and nothing. And I stood on the corner and I called Greg and I was like, Greg, I think I saw someone overdose and I am just still watching her. He is asking me where, what was going on, and I'm like, I have Narcan in my book bag. Like, I always carry it with me. And I was like, do I call 911? Do I, like, is this time, am I going to use it? Like, what do I do? So I called Greg so that I had proof that, like, I wasn't just, like, I don't know. It's weird approaching people. It's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable because you catch them in their the most vulnerable position. You know, they're nodding out. The last thing they remember is whatever happened prior to their nod out. So I don't know how long she's been nodding out. I don't know if she's like out. I don't know. It smells like a goddamn skunk and I hope it's just weed. But, so I got Greg on the phone and he could hear what was going on, and I got the balls to walk up to the car and I said, excuse me, and nothing. And I said, ma'am, nothing. And I keep in mind her car door's open. Like, her car door's open, her foot is on the brake, so her car's running. And I was just like, okay, cool. So I reached out and I guess, like, I don't know, I don't even think I touched her, and she like sat up and she's like, what, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I just want to make sure you were okay. Are you okay? And she's like, yeah, I'm okay, like trying to get like herself, you know, get her bearings. She had her phone in her hand, like she was mid-texting, and her hand like started texting again, like she did not know what was going on, and it was terrifying.